Ah, there we go. I'd muted it on the program. Oh my god. There we go. All good. I can't believe we are having a stream. Yeah, I know. It's been so long. I'm probably not going to be streaming on Twitch until about June because I want to finish, like, I really want to just finish this book. I'm in the reviewing stage, as you know, and I just want to get to the point where I can start applying for literary agents, that sort of thing. Hi, Ronan. Welcome. Hi from France. Brittany. I actually wanted to go to Brittany in August, but turns out I can't because my family friend won't be there, so that's cancelled, which sucks, but it is what it is. Isn't that where you can get, what was it? Excuse me for butchering it, but is it Queen Aman or something? I don't know what it is. It's like some sort of cake. My mum is obsessed with it. Hi, Adabunny, welcome. Aw, thank you, Kanati. I appreciate it, even though I think my makeup is a little bit... I don't think it suits... I can't tell if it's... I don't think it really suits me. I'm not sure. I don't know. You know when you, like, put makeup on and you don't know how you feel about it? You look in the mirror and you're like, I just spent 30 minutes doing this and I don't know how I feel about the results. It's that kind of makeup, you know? You can come another time when I will be around too. That is very true. That's true. It would be better if it's a time when you're there. Yes, it's a cake with a load of butter and sugar. No wonder it tastes good, but I really want some. I don't think I've ever, like, eaten one from France before. Like, maybe in Japan. That's kind of not that amazing. Hi, how are you? I love watching your channel. Hi, Snow Wolf Girl, welcome. And I appreciate that. It's always nice knowing that people like watching my channel because I have zero self-confidence. I think it makes you look more like a dangerous woman. That makes you... Sorry, it must be really loud. Oh my god, Kennedy, that's so funny. Oh yeah, and then you just have to go out with it. Lol was like that for me today. I hate it when that happens. And you know what? Sometimes there's like a certain combination where you're like, this is my makeup style that I go to when I can't be asked to think about what to do and I know that looks good on me. But sometimes, like, let's say your face is bloated or the other way around, I don't know. And you put it on and you're like, why does it not look good anymore? When once upon a time it looked really nice. Queen Aman, yes, it's basically puffed flaky pastry with so much butter. It sounds delicious. So it's like a sugary, buttery croissant, right? Oh, so good. Okay, just saying live now. There we go. Right, there we go. Put my phone away. But, you know, it's one. Anyway, so these are my questions. I thought I'd do something cute and put it in like a little jar, you know, because normally I'm so low effort. This time I thought I'd put in some effort. I feel like it depends on the mood. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm in love. Sometimes I look at myself and don't want to look anymore. I like Far Breton. What's Far Breton? Then I go on a walk, eat something nice, and suddenly I look pretty again. I love that. I love that attitude. That's so good. Also salted because in return we only allow salted butter. Unsalted is a criminal offense. I didn't know that. That's so interesting. Hi Patrice, welcome. How excited are you for Hakuoki Sweet School Life being localized after? I am really excited. I'm not gonna lie, but the thing is, I don't actually know what the game is about, so I'm not... Like, I can't get as excited as everyone else because, one, I haven't even finished Hakuoki, and two, I don't even know what it's about. It looks like the Hakuoki characters wandering around in school uniform, so I don't actually know what it involves, but it looks pretty, it looks cute, so I am really interested. I just need to budget hard because this year, what do we have? So we've got the Rune Factory game coming out. We have the the Over Requiem's otome game in Japan, which is, I don't even know what it's about. I just looked at the promotional CGs and they look like so much, I don't know, they look so dangerous, and so I pre-ordered that without knowing absolutely anything about it. And then we have the vampire one from Voltage, which I'm very much looking forward to, and then Witchbrook. So, you know, it's rough. My bank account is crying at me. Oh, are they prepared from a previous video? Questions? Yes, they are. So these are commented questions as some people DM'd me on my previous video, and I'm going to go through them and answer them. And then at the end, I shall do this roulette thing that's in front of me with everyone's names, and whoever gets picked wins the key, which is really exciting. Far Breton. I don't actually know what that is. It's basically just dropping the Shinsengun near school setting, no war or death or suffering, just high school antics and cute moments with your favorite warrior. Ah, I can see why everyone would want that game. It sounds because I mean, from what I know, there isn't that, like, it's not that romance heavy like Hakuoki. So I guess by making a school one, it's like you can focus on the romance. Hi Roseberry, welcome. Voltage's new game is the most promising, I think. I'm so excited. We are starved for vampires. You'd think of all genres, otome games would be like vampire heavy. It's a bit like how in Romantasy you've got like so many vampire novels, but in otome games it's like diabolic lovers and then nothing else. Okay, that's not true. I know there's the Varupuruga no Uta has a vampire in it. I know Shiro to Kuro no Arisu also has like vampirism in it. There's another, which I don't know whether I should say it or not, because it's kind of like you don't learn about it until the second half, I think. I'm not sure. And I can't think of many. There are so few. We are starved. I just googled Far Breton. It looks kind of like a Russian cheesecake. Okay, I must Google. Far Breton. Ooh, it looks like a cheesecake with something dark and brown in it. Is that a prune? Interesting, I'm curious. There's so many things that I've never had before. I've been thinking of getting a game and I can't find anyone who has anything to say about it. I wanted to know if you could help whether or not I should buy it. It's called Kurenai no Homura. I think I've heard of that. Let me Google. I'm sorry, I'm a phone girly. Okay. Kurenai. I think I've heard of that. I need to see the picture though. So Kurenai no Homura. Oh. Oh, that looks fun. I think I've heard good things about that one. Yeah, this is the one that I have heard good things about it. If you like historical fiction, then I think you know, I've heard a couple of people say to me that they want to play it and or is there like a otome game that they like. So I think it looks good to me. Do you like historical fiction? I think that's the key part. Far Breton is kind of egg pastry with prunes in it. Ah, I see. I like the egg pastry part, but not the prunes. Right, okay, let me start opening these questions. First up. Oh, this is a great one to start. What otome introduced you to the game? What otome game introduced you to the genre and what kept you playing? So, the very first otome game I ever played was actually Hakuoki Kyoto Winds, and it was the, what's his face? Okita Soji was the character that I played, and Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what is this? How did I not know about this genre? Like, it was always like an awakening. I don't know. But I just had so much fun and then felt so much despair when I accidentally hit the bad ending and didn't realize that they could get that depressing. And what kept me playing is, I guess otome games are like chocolate, you know, you eat some and you're like, oh, I could have another one, and then it keeps on going. But saying that, if you play too many, you get a bit sick of it. So I do genuinely think otome games and chocolate, if you like chocolate and if you like otome games, are kind of like the same thing. What are your thoughts on Nintendo and the Switch 2 and charging? Yeah, I won't be buying a Switch 2 just purely because there is no reason for me to, in that there aren't really any games that I'm like dying to play just on the Switch. If anything, it would probably be more beneficial for me to like buy the Steam Deck and play on that. Because like the games that I'm like, oh my god, I can't play on Switch, and they are probably bringing to a Switch 2, I could probably just play on the Steam Deck. So, and the 80 for a digital game part, like, that's the thing. It's not about the console cost, because the thing is with consoles is they always have been expensive. You just pay and then you play, right? So the games themselves usually are kind of at a level that you're happy to pay, otherwise you probably wouldn't buy the console. And exactly that this one, I'm like, this is so much money just for one game when I could, you know, play a PC game, or I've got my backlog that I need to go through. So it's like, when I've got this, should I really be spending all that money? Is basically my thought process on that one. That's completely valid. I've got so many otome games finished on the Switch. I recommend the Steam Deck if you enjoy Steam games, and unlike Nintendo, there's a lot of sales on games. That's the thing. Like, even when a game is £40 and you're like, there's a sale. Whereas the Nintendo sales, like, sometimes they're really good sales, but often it's like, here's 15% off, and you're like, that's nice. But, like, when you've got Steam and they're, like, 80% off. So, you know. Okay, what's the next one? What is your favorite way to de-stress, decompress when you read something on otome Twitter that really annoys you? Okay, so I have a private account and I rant on there, basically. Or I talk to a friend in private. To be honest, all in all, nowadays, I've seen the same, like, drama over and over and over again, that whenever I come across it, it doesn't really affect me anymore. I'm like, not this again. I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to buy the Switch 2 for Christmas. Oh, that's exciting, though. I'm really hoping there's, like, a special edition, because if there's a special edition, then I'll be a little bit more inclined. Like, I wish they released, like, a pink one or something. Steam Deck is so bulky. There are still so many games on Switch 1. As long as they could support online shopping, cartridges on sale, yeah. I didn't know Steam Deck was that bulky. I thought it was, like, the size of a Switch. Nintendo is stingy about sales. They sell Pokemon games for the same price for years. Yeah, you're right. That's so true. Hi, Pampered Panda. Welcome. Do you play with or without guides? So, typically I play the first route without a guide, and then the second route I will use a guide. But I almost always regret not using a guide, because, like, when you go back and stuff and you're trying to collect all the CGs, if you've done one route without a guide, you can't, like, because often the walkthroughs give you like a save at this point, which allows you to run into these 3 characters or whatever. But if you do it without a guide, you're like, oh, what have I done? Where have I saved? But at the same time, I sometimes feel lazy, because, like, when you have a guide, you have to constantly look at your phone or, like, on the laptop or whatever, and it kind of breaks the mood of it. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's a tough one, but to be honest, when I have to make reviews or first impressions and stuff, time is of the essence. So, like, for example, I should have had my first impressions of Battlefield Waltz out by now, but guess what? I have not. I have not even recorded the video. I swear it will be on my channel soon at some point because I will make that video. But yeah, so if I'm trying to make videos and stuff, I do need to like do the most efficient way and use a guide. Yes, give us more colors than black, right? Black or the weird red and blue combination. I always say that it's almost like Nintendo don't have like, it's as if they employ people who don't really think about what makes Switch look cute in terms of like aesthetic and color, because whenever they release a special edition, it's not quite right, you know? Like the patterns aren't quite fashionable. It's like they tried and somewhat missed. I don't know. I feel like they could do a lot better with their designs personally, but then again, the target audience is probably men, and as a girl, maybe it doesn't align. I don't know. Japan is very traditional. To be honest, now I play Sympathy Kiss by myself and then just use skip button guide to check other endings. Yeah. A pink or light blue Switch would be nice. Yeah, I wish I could have a pink Switch. And the Switch Lite, the pink one is cute, but that's barely a pink. It's more like a coral or a salmon, you know? I'm sick of primary colors for consoles. God forbid we get to have various colors at launch. Yeah. Nintendo fashion rose is so true though. Hi Lizard, welcome. And they used to have such cute editions of the 3DS back in the day. Yes, you're right. And the one I have, oh, it's not here, is the Pikachu, what was it? 3DS XL? The one where it's got like the little nose. It's like my favorite console ever. But yeah, no, I miss the baby pinks. And even like Game Boy Advance, there was that pink console, and then you had like Game Boy Advance SP, which there was that metallic pink color. Me playing Kazuma's End in Love and Pretend without a guide and being very surprised it ended up on the good instead of the Oh my god, Kazuma from Love and Pretend. Honestly, that was probably my most... I think disappointed is the wrong word. It was probably more unexpected route, and not in a good way. Yeah. It was alright though. Oh, I have a black Zelda 3DS. Oh, that was my very first 3DS. I remember buying it. I can picture it in my mind. Going to the game shop. Oh, so nostalgic. I just bought a modded 2DS and it was a Japanese version. Oh, I see. What color was it? We need Switch the same color as your Steam UI. Yes, exactly. Imagine if this was your Switch. I would be so happy. And custom pink Sailor Moon joysticks on Switch 1 were a game changer. I was going to show you what I've got on my Switch, but I don't have it on me here. But at the moment, I've got like these little shark things and the shark Joy-Con thingies. But yeah, no, they definitely are a game changer. It makes it look so much cuter. Okay. Oh, this one's from Irisu, I think. Is there any French specialty apart from macarons that you'd like from France? You do not need to worry about me. However, if you are able to bring this Queen Niaman thing, then I would love that. But I think they're quite bulky, aren't they? And also, I don't know how, like, whether it would last or I don't know. Sorry, my nose is being really annoying right now. To be honest, any sort of biscuit, cake, sweet things, white chocolate. If there's any chocolate option, it's always got to be white chocolate. And I will forever complain that white chocolate isn't the primary chocolate. It's always you know, the milk chocolate is milk chocolate, this milk chocolate, that milk. I don't care about milk chocolate, if I'm to be completely honest. Give me all the white chocolate. But it's always milk chocolate, isn't it? I just wish there was so many more white chocolate options, because personally, it's my, like, out of all the different chocolate types, white chocolate and matcha chocolate. It was a baby pink 2DS. Oh yeah, those cute ones. It may look like a doorstopper, but it fits comfortably in my hands. Whereas I do miss how small handheld consoles were. Like the GBA Micro is this teeny. It's so cute, my heart. Yeah, I had to take a break because of that one plot trope, but they did it fine in the end. But yeah, at least I was not expecting much, because I've seen what people said beforehand. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, no, that route was, unexpected in my opinion, not a good way. Mini Queenie Moms exist, and the background has Sailor Moon music. Wait, what has Sailor Moon music? Do you also have any thoughts on Juza no Engi? I have not played Juza no Engi, but I have noticed that you've picked out historical fiction games there, Snowwolf Girl. Because I think Juza Engi is kind of like a historical fiction-ish thing, isn't it? Is it with like Ayakashi in it or something? I can't remember. But I've never played it. But I think I'm trying to think. I haven't seen anything that's like excessively negative about Juza Engi, so I don't think you need to worry so much. I love Royce Nama chocolate matcha. Ooh, that sounds matcha chocolate, honestly. I think that's what I like about white chocolate. It goes with all sorts of other flavors. So you've got like fruit ganache, like strawberry ganache or blackcurrant ganache in a nice white chocolate shell. And then, of course, matcha chocolate is like a white chocolate base. Oh, my 2DS has a customized background of Sailor Moon. Oh my gosh, that's cute. That sounds adorable. Aw. Was it, so with 2DS, was that the one where you can change the background to like a picture you've taken or something? Because there is something that Switch kind of lacks. I wonder if they're going to add that to the new one. I think quite a few of us actually care about that. Next one. What non-otome is your most anticipated release? It's probably that Rune Factory game. I can't remember the name of it. I love it how it's my most anticipated. Actually, no. My most anticipated has got to be Witchbrook. I'm just like, I can't believe it's finally being released, because like we've been told for so long that there's going to be this Witchbrook game and it's going to be amazing and la la la, and everyone's been like, when is it coming out though? And finally, I'm so excited. So yeah, I don't even know. It's, what is it, like a magical school RPG or something? I don't actually know what it involves. It's Rune Factory Guardians of Asma. That's it. That's the Rune Factory game I'm looking forward to. Guardians of Asma. And welcome, Fancy. I see you lurking in the background there. Oh, dear me. But I think I read somewhere that Rune Factory will be delayed. No, really? What? Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma release date. It said 30th May? On Steam it says 5th of June. $5 days ago. Delayed a week. Oh, I see. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma for Nintendo Switch (in brackets) and PC has been delayed a week to coincide with the Switch 2 launch, now releasing 2025, 5th of June on all platforms. Cool. So there we go. I guess it is being delayed then. I love Rune Factory 4 so much, but didn't see anything about the new one. Yeah, what's the fourth one again? Was the fourth one with the girl with like the twin tails like this with the green hair? Because I remember 3 being just a guy that you can pick, and he's like a little monster or something. Who are you most excited to romance and Rune Factory? Oh my gosh, DF, I actually haven't. I haven't checked the characters or anything. I just heard people from my server talk about a new Rune Factory, and I was like... But I haven't actually looked up any of the characters or anything, so if I do play it, I'm probably just gonna go in and be like, oh, he's cute, is he romanceable? Like that, you know, I'll explore it in my own time. Hopefully there'll be one where it's like, oh, because the problem is quite often there's like 2 or 3 that I'm like sort of into, but that makes it hard because I can't decide. But if they're all ugly apart from one, then it's really helpful because I'm like, okay, it has to be that one. That sounds so mean. Unless they have a magnificent personality, of course. Before you can play as the girl. Yeah. Okay, so it is that one. I like that one. I don't hear too many people talk about Rune Factory 5 though. I feel like that's like the less popular one. I don't think I ended up playing much of it, actually. Will you be getting a Switch 2? So I guess I did answer this one previously, but probably not. I'll either wait for the special edition to come out. I'm guessing there's going to be a special edition type thing. Or, yeah, just play it by ear, basically. Out of curiosity, is it just me or does Yuki Kaji appear less and less in otome games lately? You know what? You're actually right, I think. When's the last time Kaji Yuki was in an otome game? That's actually a good point. He was in the... I love it how I'm like, he was in the Tokimeki Memoria, the girls' school, girls' side 4, whatever, and I'm like, oh, that was two or 3 years ago. That was released. Like, Kazuyuki, where is he? Is he not in anything? I didn't play it either. Say the girl playing otome now, she complains about having too many li options. Well, I like having options, but if they're all too adorable looking, then I can't pick, and then I just end up like not getting married. Like I have yet to get married in Stardew Valley. I have never got married in that game. I have been permanently single through every single playthrough. Rune Factory 5 is still in my backlog. Oh, okay. So what's this one? What is your favorite otome game company? Do you prefer indie otome? So this is a tricky one. If I were to say like the theme of otome games that I typically like, it would probably be Rejet, who are the ones that did like Diabolic Lovers, Black Wolf Saga, Dance with Devils, Moshimo Kami-sama ga kono yo ni iru no nara, or whatever the name of that one is. Moshikami, there we go. I like all of those because they're like they push the limits of messed up on handheld console, and I love that. But I don't really like how they continuously disappoint their customers by not developing Doriko no Toshokan. Automate, I feel, is quite formulaic. They play it safe, so I'm not that, like... They need a bit more of an adventurous spirit, if you know what I mean. Because if you play one automate game after another, you start feeling this kind of sameness, and you'll probably lead to burnout so much quicker, which is, I think, what's happening in the West. We've been playing all these automate games and we're getting burnt out. That's the vibe I'm getting. Then you've got the neo-romance otome games where they have gameplay. Now, I love this. I love this so much. But they're always very, like, fluffy on the romance. Like, yeah, you might get a kiss scene. Cool. Type of thing. As opposed to having, like, a, oh my god, they're making out to blackout. Or more passionate scenes. It's always like, oh, cute, they're holding hands. You know? Which sometimes I'm in the mood for that. But I also like a more realistic development as opposed to it just being, I mean, I guess it is like high school when it comes to games like La Coda de Oro, but I don't know. But yeah, they're like gameplay, but not enough kind of, the romance is very shoujo fluffy. What else is there? You got Takuyo. I think that one's quite fun because you've got like the messed up games like Sweet Kurang and I can never remember any of the names, but they do the somewhat dodgy ones, or there'll be like a ridiculously silly one like Kaeru Batake de something. It's like the one with loads of frogs, which is really weird. So they seem to be very like Marmite's the wrong word, very contrasting. And then you've got, I love it how I'm just going, to be honest, at the end of the day, when I'm feeling so burnt out, I'll play an indie game and it'll feel like a fresh breath of air. Fresh breath of air, yeah. Tokimeki Memory on the girl's side looks fun, but I'm over stat building games. I'd get burned out trying to play that now. I think with Tokimemo, you just want to play one route and be satisfied with it. Last one can think of is Color Malice. Color. Who was Kazuyuki in that? Was that Okazaki Kei? Wasn't it? Yeah. I'm sure there have been more games with Kazuyuki in them since then. Sounds like Voltage Games. I think Kazuyuki probably doesn't need as much gigs now. Maybe we have newer gen of Seiyu working on otome too. As a grown-ass woman, I enjoy cute romance, but I also enjoy deep, passionate romance that isn't fade to black. Cute Demon Crash is a free 18+ otome game that does this. Oh, okay. Let's note this down. Okay. Oh my god, my pen. Where's it gone? Okay. Let's see. Cute Demon Crashes, you say? Okay. But yeah, I think ultimately indie games are sort of the ones that always feel the most fun, ultimately. I guess they kind of understand what otome gamers want. The only downside is often that, of course, the art isn't done by someone who's like professional and been doing otome game CG art for years and years and years. So it can look a little bit more homemade, if you will. But I don't think that's always the case. And I don't think that's an issue for me. I know some people are very picky about it, but for me, it's not an issue. Irresistible Mistakes was pretty good. I still haven't played Irresistible Mistakes. Hi, Otome Addicted! Welcome! I feel like I haven't spoken to you in ages. I need more R18 translated games. I just finished Butterfly's Poison, and as problematic as it was, I was obsessed. I love that game so much. It was so messed up. I'm trying to think of like R18... there was one, I think I came across one R18. Oh, Particles of Reality. That's an R18 game that's really messed up. But yeah, the art is never like automate or like Japanese otome level quality typically. I don't know why, but I mean, I don't know why is the wrong word. Obviously, I know why. It's because these people have been working on it for years and years and years and years and years and have been paid to do it. Obviously, they're going to be really good at the art that they do, whereas indie otome games don't have the resources nor time, so naturally their art isn't going to be on the same level, which is fine. Again, I'm happy with that. My all-time favorite otome game is College Craze, which isn't your typical otome game art, that's for sure, but it's held its #1 position since like 2 years ago, probably, when I discovered it. Agree on otome. The formula starts to feel too safe after a while. It's always the same. I can't even put my finger on what it is about otome that's the same. I can't really, but it is. Yes, Okazaki has the best voice. I did like Okazaki. Hi, Amna. Welcome. What Japanese otome indie games do you like? Are they on the Switch? Japanese otome indie games. I can only think of like Club Suicide. That's not. I think that's an indie one, isn't it? I need to check that one out. Actually, it's about a main character who, I don't know. I think she just doesn't feel like living anymore or something. It's quite depressed. She jobs, and then so she joins a club that's all about that, and so it's a very emotional ride. Definitely, obviously, you want to make sure that you're in a mentally healthy place before you play that game, because I've heard it gets quite depressing. I'm trying to think of other indie. There was one that I played. Oh, it's the one by Kuroe-san, and it's what's it called? Verganti. That game made me cry. Oh my god. I still remember it was like 3 a.m. or something, and I don't really cry with otome games very often, if I'm to be completely honest, because normally I don't really, it's not that I don't feel anything. Of course I feel emotions and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah, there was just something about that game, and I just remember at 3 a.m. and I was crying, you know, like when your snot's coming out as well, and you're like, that level of crying. Oh my god. Yes, the synopsis of Cute Demon Crashes. You're alone on spring break and you somehow summon 4 incubus, and you can choose to have relations or just cuddle. Oh, what is going on here? Oh dear me. Okay, sorry, these are ears of my chair. I'm just trying to make sure that they're standing upright, but that's funny. I think he's in Tears of Themis. Is Kazuyuki in Tears of Themis? Okay. Hi Lemony, welcome. I wish we had more dodgy or steamy games like Devil Lovers, Nirani no Tenbin, or Dance with Devils actually localized. I'm trying to think of like the steamy ones. I suppose you've got Olympia Soiree. No game is gonna beat Olympia Soiree in terms of steaminess. There's like Pure Fiore, Cupid Parasite, Butterflies, Poison, Blood Chains. I will never get over that name. Sympathy Kiss. Sympathy Kiss is relatively steamy, I suppose. See, this is why Matsurika no Kei should have been picked up for localization. That's pretty steamy. I've only played one route though. I need to check all the others out. I really would like to play Club Suicide. It's on Steam. Is it not available in Russia, maybe? I wish they make more BL. Oh, it's not in Japanese, of course. For some reason, I'm like, oh, it's in English, right? Because there's so many localizations. I wish they make more BL otome games, since BL novels, web novels are so popular these. You mean like, I'm guessing you mean BL games that are kind of more fluffy as opposed to the very physical, lots of skin colorness going on. The other day I played Room Number 9, right? Which is a BL game about 2 best friends who go on holiday and end up getting taken into this weird room number 9. And they have to do these tasks, which if they do not, they can't leave. So they have to do like X number of tasks, and if they do, they can leave, basically. And the tasks get worse and worse and worse, as you can imagine. Oh my. I mean, I know BL is quite, you know, hard on the sexy side of things, but towards the end, I think I just felt like I was watching. I just felt like I was watching porn or something. I just got a bit bored. It was really good, like the first round, first route. And then the second one, I was like, okay. And then the third, I just gave up. I was like, I've had enough of this. The issue is that R18 games can't be localized on the Switch without censoring, and even the Steam version ended up being the censored version. That is something I don't understand. Why is the Steam version also censored? That's what I like. Butterfly's Poison. They could have made the non-censored version on Steam, if you know what I mean. Oh my god, just noticed the bunny ears. I know, right? They're so cute. And this can come out and you can put it on your head, though I'm not going to do it because I probably will break it somehow. Nothing is as steamy as eroge. It's funny that we want more spice in otome games and less of it in BL. There must be balance. I know, right? It's oh my god. But yeah, so in response to the what is your favorite otome game company, do you prefer indie otome? I like Reddit, just not their principles, and I probably do prefer indie games on, like, yeah, I think. They're definitely more refreshing, and otome games are getting a bit samey. Have you ever been part of otome drama? Okay, I may answer that one towards the end of the stream if I have drunk enough wine. Next one. My favorite BL game is Hashihime of Old Book Town. Oh, I think I played one route of that one. That's the one with the guy in the bookshop, right? And it's like Taisho period or something. Before the big earthquake. What is your preference in otome game male tropes? Okay, so I would say I like my absolute favorite up here is Himbo Ore-sama. So the ones are like, I'm so great, but also really dumb. That's my favorite, all-time favorite trope. Second is Haraguro, which is the ones that are like, oh, hello, princesses in front of all the other girls, and then behind the scenes is like, I'm gonna bully you. I don't know what this is. But the one where they're like, you know, the ones where all the girls are like, oh my god, so-and-so summer, and they're really excited, and he's like this to them, but behind the scenes, just the main character, he reveals his true side, and he's actually a massive dickhead. That's my second favorite. And then third favorite trope would probably be like, this is the thing, I really like yanderes, especially like when they're well hidden, but I don't know whether I like them as a love interest, so I just like the drama of it. I always find it a struggle to differentiate between the two. Reject could have made so much money if they localized their games. I know! And all just because of that one little drama that happened so many years ago. Yes. Oh, yeah. So it is the bookshop one. It was so pretty, but there were scenes that I actually, like, not made me jump, but I was like, oh my god, what's happening? That was really pretty, though. I like that. I love himbo so much. Oh, so your type is that blonde guy from Dance with Devils. Meiji. Yes, the one with long hair. The one that, in my opinion, is kind of ugly. And I didn't think I'd like him. He ended up becoming my favorite. Do you have any examples of this? I can't think of any. So, Himbo Ore-sama. So there's this character. So Meiji is one. Meiji is in Dance with Devils. He's the long-haired, like I said, in my opinion, not the most attractive character. And he thinks he's amazing, and he's like a man's man where all the bros are like, bro, I respect you, man. And, but when it comes to romance, he's not quite there. Another one I can think of is Akabara-sama from Zettai Kaikyu Gakuen, which is a game that's basically in this school where there's a serious hierarchy system, and he's like at the top, bullying everyone. And he doesn't understand that he likes the main character, I think. I think that's kind of how it went. And it is really cute. I think that's what it is. It's usually how they don't realize that they like the main character and can't stop like bothering the main character, you know. And there is that usual like bully and being bullied dynamic thing going on. I don't know. I like gentle outside but obsessive. Oh, so like the yandere types. I'm a sucker for a yandere man in a game. It is, I do love the reveal. If they hide it really well. Yona from Tengoku Struggle is kind of a himbo. Oh yeah. Yona is 100% a himbo. But Caleb from Love and Deep Space. I didn't know he was a yandere. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I stopped playing Love and Deep Space around the time he came out. But I'm not surprised. It seems to always be tied with the childhood friend trope. Who's your favorite yandere? My favorite yandere are like diet yanderes, so the ones that aren't like full-on hardcore yandere, but the ones that have like a glimmer of it. So I can't say which one because it would be kind of a spoiler of the character, but there is one that I'm out of all the extreme ones. The thing is, they're a spoiler, if you know what I mean, because usually the fun in yandere is like the reveal. So I feel like I can't answer this question without spoiling a game. How do you feel about the Angelique games? So I've only played Angelique Luminarize. Absolutely adored it. It was so much fun. I was addicted. I was constantly playing it. But I just wish it wasn't so difficult to get all the CGs. I think with Angelique games, I tend to play like 1 or 2 characters and then leave it like that, you know? But I find them really fun. What about you? Yona from Tengoku Struggle is kind of him, but oh my god, yes, Caleb and Toma take the cake from me in the yandere department. I didn't realize Caleb was like that. Clearly I've been missing out. Karakurenai from Hanawase. Oh, he's a mean character. So my Hanawase collection, well, I say collection, that's the box set there. It's still wrapped. I need to play it. But I'm kind of saving it for a rainy day alongside the Fata Morgana no, was it Yakata or something? That one? So I'm saving Sweet Clown, Fatamoru, and Hanawase for a rainy day. Those are like my, if I really feel like a game that I'm pretty sure I'll get into, they're there. Maybe saying the game is less of a spoiler. If you know, you know. Ah, okay. So there is, so I would say the diet yanderes in, and to be honest, some people may not even consider it that way. It's more like me, maybe. But you've got Pio Fiore and Bassafellos and maybe Collar Malice. Those are three with particular characters and particular behaviors that make them my favorite diet yandere, I suppose. Play it. I really do. I need to play Hana's. I know I'm gonna like it. It's just, you know, with so many localizations, there's so many games I kind of like have to play. I'm still not even done with 9 Rip. Hi Vlad, welcome. I feel like I haven't spoken to you in ages, but Minami is my favorite. Which characters have you played so far? Okay, next question. Top 3 favorite otome. Oh dear god, that's a tough one. First place, easy. College Craze. It's still in development, but it's an R18 otome game about a main character who goes to college and screws everyone. Okay. Okay, that's not... No. There's more of a plot. That's me joking around. But it's intriguing because there is so much drama that takes place. And what I love about it is that every choice makes a difference. Like, there is literally choices like, will you steal this or not? And in the short term, it looks like the consequences are minimal. But then later down the game, you're like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, what? And then there's things like, oh, will you use a condom or not? That can have dire consequences. I love that game so much. So yeah, that is top. Second place is probably Cupid Parasite. I don't know what it is. No, it's definitely not my normal, like, comedy isn't really my thing, to be quite honest. And yet, for some reason, Cupid Parasite has a special place in my heart. I think it's because it's the one game I could just let myself go. I didn't have to kind of think, oh, something bad's gonna happen. Like, I'm not kind of low-key mentally preparing myself in any way whatsoever. I could just let myself go and enjoy the ride without any concerns. And that's what I loved about that game. Third place, probably Sudan Digito, because of Meguro-sama. One character that surprised me was one in Code Realize. Oh, okay. I like Sympathy Kiss one a lot. Oh, yeah, he was pretty cool. Have you played Battlefield Waltz? Yes, I have, Sammy. So I've played Able Root. I do need to make a first impressions video, so that will be coming at some point. Unlike Bloody Otome and Chloe, I am incapable of being organized and playing games so quickly to whip out the review out so quickly. So I have only played one route. So I will be doing a first impressions soon, hopefully. But it's really fun, you know. I actually really enjoyed it. It's very the UI feels very dated, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. Maybe because it's like a game by Automate way ages ago, it's not the same formula or something, but I really enjoyed it. What new otome releases are you looking forward to? The Over Requiems. That one. That's the one that I'm looking forward to most. Yeah, for no reason other than the CGs looked enticing. I don't know. And the vampire one, because we are starved for vampires. The Red Lamenting Bells, or whatever it's called. I beg your finest pardon? No, you're like, which otome games, what characters in 9 Arabi have you finished? What do you think about Moi otome doshi kaiu koi ga... Moi, I'm not actually, I haven't really been necessarily like attracted to it, I guess. I think it's just too happy and nothing about it really kind of grabs my attention. So, I mean, Koharu's route and still have Yukimaru and Sato's left to finish. What is your favorite otome trope like with Tsundere, Yandere, etc.? Okay, so you're in Koharu's route. I loved Koharu. So in 9 Rip, I think it was Koharu and the ghost boy. Not the one with the noose, but the warrior ghost boy. Oh, and Seiya. Seiya was one of like up there. My favorite otome trope is probably the Ore-sama Himbo. Ore-sama Himbo mix, definitely, for sure. But yeah, so top 3 is College Craze. What did I say? Oh yeah, Cupid Parasite and then Suran Digito, I think. Yeah, that's it. Next one. Gosh, why am I such a chatterbox? I'm not getting through. I don't even have that many questions and I'm taking forever. Who is your first ever love interest? My first ever love interest was Okita Soji from Hakuoki. And it was great. I'm very happy that he was my very first love interest. But yeah, so that's that one. Tajima Shinnosuke's voice. Do you prefer playing otome on Switch, Vita, or PC? Definitely handheld, so either Switch or Vita. I do really like my PS Vita because it's so teeny and cute. You know what? I think I am a Vita girly through and through, even though it's like the oldest out of the three. I just remembered there's a vampire indie otome game, Phantom of the Twilight, on Steam. Oh, okay. Let's note that down as well then. Phantom of the Twilight. There we go. Okay, mine is Shiraishi from Color Malice. Oh yeah, he was a good one. Did he say your favorite after other... Unfortunately, I played Kazama afterwards and he immediately dethroned him. Kazama from Hakuoki is just... It's that Ore-sama trope, isn't it? My girl is finally streaming again. Hi, Keiki, welcome. I unfortunately won't be streaming that much, just purely because I'm trying to just get my book done. I'm reviewing my book at the moment. I'm over halfway through reviewing it now. So obviously I just want to get it done so that I can start looking for publishers. Despite it being recession and harder than ever, I'm sure. But yeah. But today's a special stream. Okay, what's the next one? Top 3 all-time favorite love interests. Oh, this is always a difficult one. I think I recently did a video on it, didn't I? What did I pick? So number 1 was Meguru-sama from Suran Digital. Second place, I think, was Gabe from College Craze. And then third place was... Oh, Helvetica from Buster Fellows. I know. What a shock. I bought a Vita for the first time just so I could play the Marie Antoinette otome game, and Chocho Juken, totally worth it. I'm sorry, but Chocho Juken is like up there. It's the love interests in that game is they were like so refreshing, you know. So totally worth it. As for the Marie Antoinette game, I think I played a little bit of it. I just got distracted, but it's by the same people that made Hanayaka nari waga ichizoku. That one, isn't it? I think. That's also got like the little person walking around and things. Which year is considered the best year of the otome releases? I'm not sure. I think for me, in terms of like the West, the best release was probably 2021 or something, because that was after. So Pure Fiore came out, Cafe Enchante came out, and then the otome genre kind of boomed almost, because until then it was like nothing. You had, I think you had like Amnesia, Color Malice, Hakuoki, Period Cube, Bad Apple Wars, Psychedelica of the Black Butterfly, and Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk, Seven Scarlet. I think those were the games you had in English, and they were basically all on Vita. And then all of a sudden we got Pure Fiore, and everyone was like, what is this game? Like, it's on Switch, and then it was a bit exciting. And then Cafe Enchante came out, and everyone was excited. And then it was like Olympia Soiree, Paradigm Paradox, and La Cuba Parasite. They all came out. So I feel like 2021 was kind of the year. Okazaki K will forever be my otome love number 1. That's okay, girlie, get the book done. I can't wait for it to be published. We love an author girl. I will make sure to announce it when I get it published. I can do this. If any of you know a publisher that would publish my book. I'm half joking. My top 3 would maybe be Sasazuka, Victor Fran, and Mozu. They are the Eliza. So you have a thing about the color green, don't you, Irisu? There's another Marie Antoinette otome game in English. It's an indie. Yes. I played it. What's it called? I know which one you're talking about. I really enjoyed it. I never completed it. Like, I never finished a route or anything, but I remember playing it and it was so much fun. What was it called? Is it literally called Antoinette or something? I can't remember. It was good though. I mean, doesn't Penguin accept authors a lot? I think you need to find a literary author, and then they need to find a publisher that would be willing to read and sell that book, basically. It's gonna be tough, like looking for a job, but maybe even worse, I'm not sure. So I've just gotta keep at it, and hopefully one day something will stick. I don't actually, they just somehow end up like that. I feel like there is some sort of color system, because I have come across a lot of people who are like, I like this love interest, this love interest, this love interest, and you're like, they're all purple. Ambition, that's it, that's the name. So much fun. Yeah, literary agents. So if you want to publish your book, you can either directly go to the publisher, but the bigger publishers will require that you go through a literary agent, and these are people who are the ones that will find publishers that are for publishing your book. Speaking of Marie Antoinette, have you seen Rose of Versailles? I have not seen it, but I do have. Jean. This is like my favorite manga ever. Look how pretty it is. But yeah, so this is the English version I have. And it has like, look how pretty it is. It's so cute. And you've got like some colored pages. The page is actually really good quality, actually. And then you've got the middle parts. Sorry, I love this book so much. I get a bit excited whenever there's an opportunity to show it off. What genre is your book? So it's going to be a historical fiction meets fantasy. So it's kind of like, funnily enough, it is kind of, I'd say the aesthetic, the period would sort of be, funnily enough, Marie Antoinette kind of era, but it's set in a fantasy world. Oh, I found one. Can I send you? Of course, Keiki, send away. There are novel writing competitions where you can submit your manuscript. Even if you don't win, literary agents read the shortlist. Ah, interesting. That's actually really good to know. Maybe I should look into that. Thank you for letting me know. More people to take commission on your hard-worked book. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it is, right? They get a piece of the pie. I recommend you watch the anime. It's so good. Okay. I do have... You're gonna laugh at me. I do have... the manga that is... This is the funny part. It's full color, because this manga is based on the anime, which is based on the manga. So, which makes me laugh. But yeah, so you've literally got all the anime scenes, but in the form of a manga. And there's like, how many are there? 12. Yeah, 12. But how funny is that? Anyway, yeah, I've finished reading those. No wonder my book has like Marie Antoinette era, influences. I'm surrounded by the stuff. Ah, so pretty, that's so pretty. Yeah, I know, right? It's such a pretty book. They don't do character art like that anymore. I know. It's like, it's the Showa art, Any book recommendations to read? Oh, are you looking for like fantasy? Are we speaking spicy? Are we... I say this as if I like know a lot about books or anything like that. Recently, I read a book called Credence. Definitely not for the faint-hearted. It was very... It was a spicy book. In fact, I'm actually going to make a review on this one. It's recorded. It's in my backlog of videos I need to edit. But it's about a main character, Tianan, who ends up, her two parents end up dying, and so she ends up having to go to her step-uncle's. Now, step-uncle lives high up in the mountain with his two obviously attractive sons, And when it comes to winter, of course they all get snowed in, and guess what happens? You know what though? I'm not actually one to read. I personally don't enjoy kind of smut for the sake of smut. There needs to be a plot. If there's no plot, I cannot enjoy a book. So I'm not gonna lie to you, while that book was quite horrific and all the spice that was going on, the drama was really entertaining. We're talking fantasy. One Dark Window is a fantasy book I recently read that was really good. It's about this girl who's got this nightmare in her mind, and it's based in this world where people can be infected by magic. And it's got this really eerie vibe, and I don't know, I love it so much. It was really good. What else have I read recently? Thing is, I've only recently gotten into sort of like fantasy books. I read Powerless the other day. I say the other day, like last year. I don't know if I'd recommend it. The pacing was good at the beginning and the end, but in the middle a bit boring. The Doll Factory, that's a good one. That's a historical fiction that I enjoyed. Anyway, I love Oni-sama as well. So you read the anime? I literally read the anime. That's the most cash grab. It's so funny. I guess it's a bit like the manga in color, basically. I just sent you it on Discord. You can check it out whenever, and if I find something else. Thank you so much, Keiki. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate it. One Dark Window is really good. Gothic vibes and such a unique magic system with cards. Yes! I really liked it. I think I actually preferred the first one over the second one, but I've heard a lot of people say that they actually preferred the second one over the first one, so... But Elm is my favourite character, hands down. Okay. How did you get into otome? So you guys are gonna judge me really hard, but... So the way I got into otome was I have this friend who was really into otome, and I was like hardcore teasing her. I was like, oh my gosh, you like those games where you're like chased by a bunch of guys? You know, saying all the things that I would get angry at right now. I didn't truly mean them. I was just saying it to tease my friend, and you know, she was like, you can't make fun of it until you've played one of them. And I was like, fair point. So I decided to play Hakuoki, and it made me sad, and I was like, okay, it's not just about pretty boys chasing the main character. I get it now. I'm sorry. And that was how I ended up getting into otome games. So it's just a little story, but yeah, so now I am the one that will, I'm sure, get teased by future people telling me, oh my god, you play these games where pretty boys follow you around. Oh, how it came back to you. I know. Funny, right? Oh, dear me. Who is your favourite otome main character? Probably Lynette. I think Lynette. It's always going to be Lynette. It will always be Lynette, I think. It's really weird because I don't think Lynette and I have similar personalities necessarily, but the way she thought in game was such a match. I've never had that experience where I think something and then I see it on the screen as the main character literally saying it. It's just such a surreal, strange feeling. And Lynette's the only main character I've experienced that with, which is why she will always be number one. Okay, next one. What makes you roll your eyes on drama? I think so. The reason why there's so many drama related questions is because obviously I asked people to ask me on my drama, otome drama video. But I think what makes me roll my eyes, be right back, my words are all over the place. I completely forgot to take my pills. That's why my words are all over the place. Anyway. So, yeah, what makes me roll my eyes most at otome drama is when it's the same thing over and over and over again. But what's worse is when it's the same person reacting over and over and over again. Lily ran away from the person. Yeah, nothing really phases me as much anymore. If anything, I do kind of look from the outside and go, they're at it again. If that makes sense, because it really is the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's quite amazing how over and over again the same topic can rise in the same sphere. So yeah. Next one. What is your opinion on indie otome? Indie otome games. I think indie otome games are great to get rid of otome game burnout, personally. I know I keep on saying this, but most otome games are from Otomate, like the big ones on console. And they do tend to enjoy keeping it safe, so kind of they've learned that Hakoki works and is popular, so they're sticking to that formula. So there is nothing kind of new or exciting. The shell's different, the story is a little different, but the tropes are the same, the characters are the same, the pacing is probably the same. So, but then you play an indie game, right? And they tend to be the complete opposite, where they are just really different from the Japanese formula. And because it's so different, it feels more fun. It kind of almost breaks apart that burnout. And so yeah, sometimes I do, as much as I'm not a fan of playing otome games on my PC, sometimes I do play on my PC. And I know I keep on saying it, but College Craze, favorite otome game ever. Okay, next one. Do you ever get burnout? How do you deal with it? That's funny that we're literally just talking about. So I am always burnt out of otome games, if I'm to be completely honest, because I have to play them all the time to make these videos. So I am very envious of those who, you know, pick up an otome game, they're really excited about it and they can play literally all the routes. And I'm just sort of like, how are you doing that? Because I really struggle. So what I tend to do is I'll probably play 3 different otome games. So I'll play, okay, for example, I'll play one route from Cupid Parasite, and then I'll play one route from 9RIP, and then I will play one route from Pure Fiore, and then I'll go back to Cupid Parasite, and then repeat, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I avoid feeling too, you know, exhausted, because yeah, it can get a bit much sometimes. Another way is to just distance yourself from anything otome related. I did take a break once where I wasn't even on Twitter. I was barely on Discord. I was just not on any of the online spaces where there are people talking about otome, and I wasn't playing any otome. I was just playing normal games. And then it came back. I was like, oh, I really want to play an otome game now. Like, so I think you do just need to take that break. I keep on saying I know, but it really is like chocolate. You have too much of it and you feel a bit like, you know, it's like that. That's what I've been doing. I haven't touched any otome since June. I honestly think it's the only way to truly get over burnout. Like, the playing different games thing is kind of like trying to lessen the burnout, but you're still a bit burnt out. You're just pushing through because you need, in my case, making reviews and all of that. But if you don't have to play or you don't feel obligated to play a game, then I just wouldn't play for several months. Avoid all otome spaces, because even seeing people, like watching people play otome does contribute to that burnout, I think. Just ignore, don't see anything that's otome, and then one day you'll be like, oh my god, I really want to play an otome game. Yeah, like I miss otome, not gonna lie, but the thing is, it's too much sometimes, and the amount of drama every day on Twitter. That's the thing. It's crazy how much drama happens on otome Twitter now. It's just constant. Like, if you put otome in the search tab of Twitter, there's always someone complaining or saying something about it's funny. It's funny. Okay, what otome games would you suggest for beginners? I would say beginners. Like, as in, what is this part? I'm pretty sure there was another question in there. Oh, beginners for Japanese. I think someone asked me what otome games I would suggest for someone starting, starting Japanese otome games. And I think anything with slice of life type of dialogue. So, for example, things like Tokimeki Memoriaru. That is literally like her going to school, picking subjects, going to this place, going to that place. I think that's great for someone who's wanting to learn Japanese, because it's not easy. No otome game is easy, in my opinion. You have to have that basic level to be able to kind of at least know what is a letter and what, like, certain words and things like that. But once you get to a point where you can read a little bit, I think the school life type ones, so that or Brothers Conflict, or I'm just trying to think of like school life type one. But anything that, so stay away from fantasy, because one, they make up words, and two, you won't use those words in real life. And veer towards the more realistic ones, whether it be like, yeah, I think Tokimeki Memoriaru, because then you also, the thing with that game is you need to learn the words so that you can apply them, because you need to learn the commands, if you know what I mean, so that the actual gameplay will help you, I think. The thing is, I've never learnt Japanese in my life, so it is a little bit of a foreign concept for me. I've been liking getting in touch with other games lately. It's nice having variety, definitely. Good thing I don't use Twitter. It's understandable. Life should have more variety, definitely, yeah. The drama definitely doesn't help with the burnout. It's just constant, right? I just recently found out what a fidelity list. Norn 9 was my gateway. Oh, as a JP beginner, I thought Angelique Luminarize went pretty well. Ooh, okay. So there we go, Angelique Luminarize. And also, I think Angelique Luminarize has a demo. So you could always download the demo and then see how you feel before you buy it. That's an option. I did like that game. I can't remember. I can't remember who my favorite was. I was a bit of a bitch though, because like, I saw my rival start to like a character, so I was like, no, I'm having him. But I think my favorite was the orange-haired guy. I think he was the wind guy. I think. Yeah, he left the most impression, I think. But it is funny when they both come to your door and there's like some jealousy, and I love that. There's the very last question. Are there any supplementary materials to translate while playing? So I have seen people put something on their PC that translates to Japanese. Is that MTL? Like, how does that work? Because I have seen someone do that. And I'm like, so they'll put their Switch game on their PC and then they'll use this like software that kind of half translates it. Not necessarily accurately, but kind of, if you know what I mean. He was the hardest to understand to me. Oh. Which character did you like most, Lizard, in Angelique? I'm curious. Uta no Prince sama doesn't seem to help. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's got quite a lot of slice of life stuff. Just obviously you will be learning music terms that you'll never need. But other than that, it's probably one of the easier ones. Avoid historical fiction like the plague. I still remember talking to someone. So in my mind, it didn't really, like I said, because I didn't learn the language. I grew up in Japan until I was 11. It's kind of like, it's not really the same as someone who's, you know, actively learning it. And they were telling me how they really struggled with Birushana, Rising Flower of Genpei, because they use weird Japanese. And I was like, weird Japanese? And it hit me. They refer to themselves as, like, for example, instead of watashi, he might say sessha. And things like that, where it didn't really occur to me because you kind of learn that sort of, like Shakespeare in English, you kind of hear it jokingly or in fairy tales or like, you know, the oldie Englishy kind of thing. Well, it's a bit like that, but in Japanese. And I guess when someone's learning that language, it's a bit confusing when you hear that. My favorite was Zeno. Is he the green-haired guy? Which one's Zeno again? PG, sir, I've been spamming your Discord with literal... Thank you, Keiki. I do appreciate it. It's very sweet of you. I haven't got to the point yet where I can send query letters, but when I get there, I will be going through your list and picking the ones I feel are or will, you know, actually like my work. Here's the grey-haired, pink-coated... Oh, yeah, sorry, not the green one. Green one is like the one that looks like a DILF. The pink... So the grey-haired, pink... He's like the mechanic-looking one. I don't know why I think he's mechanic. Oh, no, he's the metal one. He is metal, right? It's because they're all like... You know how when you go to pick where you want your powers, it's like water, wind... light and darkness and all of this. So in my mind, it's not the name, it's the element. But he was cute. He was really sweet. Yeah, I remember him being quite adorable. But yeah, I think, yeah, for me, I think it was the orange guy, the wind guy. I think I liked the one that had a hood. He was wearing a hood, that one. Hi Liz, welcome. You always arrive when I'm thinking, well, I guess it's time for me to leave. I will stay for a little longer though. But I've run out of questions, so that's why I was going to leave. But if people can come up with more questions, I can stay a little longer. Kanata Wotan was pretty nice too. Yes, you're right. Kanata was adorable. He's the one that just became the water one, right? And he's like really unsure and he's a bit oh my heart. And it was such a like older woman, younger guy dynamic. It was really cute. Oh, okay, Liz. It's always the way. It's because you live on the other side of the world. Why can't you move over here? Just so that you can come to my streams. Hood one was the pale green, Mirang. Yeah, that's it, Mirang. The rival. When I played Angelique, I was going for, I think, the wind guy. The wind guy makes it funny because wind has other meanings, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna go with the air guy. That sounds nicer. Anyway, I was initially going for the air guy, but yeah, my rival was like, oh, I like Milan, which made me go, I want Milan too. So I think in the end he became like my top. I can't remember. I don't have any smart questions. This is usually why I get people to ask them in advance so that this doesn't really, like, there's no stop to it. I know I'm chatty, but there's only so much chatty I can do. Which otome localization are you most excited for from the recent announcements? So, I know everyone's excited about the Hakuoki Sweet School Life. The thing is, the one I'm looking forward to is Arcana Famiglia, but I have heard that it may be very like MTL. So in that sense, I am a little bit disappointed. Hi Haifa, welcome! I only know hiragana, I still need to learn more, but I bought a few Japanese games and I can understand about 30% of the voice dialogue for slice of life kind of games, but I use a translator for them. Ah. Okay. So how long have you been learning Japanese out of curiosity? 30% is decent though. I never tried stealing the ally from Rival, going to try it next route. Yeah, I get really funny when it comes to in-game rivals. I feel, you know, the millennial in me kind of goes, I'm the main character, so I should get what I want. In the game world. At least. I never tried to... Why is Uchronia renamed? Do you know? What's it called? Illusions of Itehari? I don't actually know why they renamed it that. Lots of people are very confused. Uchronia, that's the one that I'm most looking forward to the localization of, so I can talk to other people about it more. But anyway, yeah, it turned into Illusions of Itehari, didn't it? Itehari is the city in which the whole game is based on. Based in. And I'm not sure why they called it something without the word Uchronia in it, because everyone just calls it, I think everyone's just going to end up calling it Uchronia, like Uchron, did you play Uchronia, even though, you know, it's in English, Illusions of Itehari. I think it should be Delusions of Itehari if we're going from the upper classes perspective, but it's a really interesting world though. It's been around a year since I've started learning Japanese, but I'm not very consistent, unfortunately. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, it's commendable that you've even been doing it for a year, regardless of whether it's consistent or not, you know? Hi, Shion, welcome! You just about made it. How do you feel about Battlefield Waltz? I'm kind of interested in trying it. Hi, I'm so lovely. Welcome. So, I do need to make my first impressions video of Battlefield Waltz, to be honest. But, so it's about a girl whose village is destroyed. And in the process, she accidentally awakens the cursed sword. That's kind of like the introduction to it. And so she ends up having to go to this, I think this school's called Nirvana, which is like a military school where students go and they learn how to battle, to heal, it's very like magical-ish, like fantasy, almost RPG vibes. And you know when the fighting scenes, the music sounds a bit like the music that would come up in an RPG when you're in like turn-based combat? But I've only played Abel route. I've done all his endings, and yeah, it's nice because they give you so many CGs. Like you have variants of like the kiss scene, for example, and it's like 3 different types of CGs, one after the other, that kind of shows you what happened and things like that. And it's so refreshing to have so many CGs as opposed to like just a handful that we sometimes get. So that's nice. I think it took me about 4 hours to finish the common route, and then 3 to 4 for the individual route. And yeah, I think the length is kind of, it's not too long, it's not too short, that sort of thing. I enjoyed the route I played, and I'm on my second route now. If you like fantasy, if you like shoujo manga vibes, if you like a little bit of angst, I think you'll like it. But yeah, very, very fantasy, military fantasy vibes. Well, I know you're probably sick of me talking about this, but I gotta ask what your opinions on the Switch 2 now affect otome games. I don't know if Switch 2 will affect otome games, in that I feel like English companies will still release on the Switch, because the thing is, everyone already has a Switch, so releasing otome games on the Switch isn't risky. But if you release it for the Switch 2, you're eliminating like a whole bunch of your audience, especially because people who play VNs, I personally don't think are the ones going out there immediately buying the next gen console, because we are reading on our games and we like cozy games typically. We aren't, like, if that makes sense. I feel like it will be several years only when it becomes normal for things to only be released on the Switch 2 and nothing's being released on the Switch 1, that I feel like, I don't know, this is obviously me speculating, just making crap up essentially, but those are my thoughts. Lots of CGs are a huge bonus. Oh my god, I know. People in my server are like, oh, about it, you know, we're all excited. Not gonna lie, I love games that give you a bunch of CGs. It really is nice because you can kind of imagine what's going on a lot better than just being given one, if you know what I mean. For real, the CG number is such a selling point. Do you think Abel would be my type of Tsun? Maybe? I'm trying to compare him with your favorite Takeru. I don't think he's the mean kind of Tsun. He's more the... Okay, so with Abel, I initially thought he was a kudere, and then I realized he's actually a Tsun. He isn't mean to the main character. He's a bit like... He may accidentally come across as mean or say something that's harsh, but it's never intended in a mean way. And then you've got Pash, who's also a tomboy. He's a very much like a flustered tomboy. I can imagine someone saying something like, oh, hey, you look like a nice couple, and him going bright red and freaking out. So that's that. Those are two Tsuns in the game. So if you like tsunderes, then this is a great game for you, I suppose, because they're two different types. But neither of them are, because the thing is, Takeru is a weird Tsun, you know? Because he's kind of mean in, like, on purpose. I was real worried about the Dacronia not being available on the original Switch, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I don't think it would be very smart of them to make it Switch 2 only, because especially with how, like, I don't mean to make this stream depressing or anything, but especially with how the economy is right now, I don't think many of us are going to be in a financial state where we're happily buying Switch 2s, like, casually, if you know what I mean. I think it's lucky we even own a Switch. That's the way I'm thinking. Like, I own a Switch. I have come across people who don't own a Switch, and they're like, oh, I can't afford a Switch. That's why I play on my phone, or, you know. So even having the one is a luxury. So if they start forcing you to buy the second one when you're playing bloody visual novels, it's different if they're providing us with a very new experience. Like, you know, lots of things going on, some hardcore gameplay, but we are literally just reading. Yeah, I don't think I actually need an upgrade to Switch 2, just worried Switch 1 will cease to be supported in a few years or earlier. That would suck so bad. And I would want a new Zelda or Animal Crossing if it comes out. That's the thing. Animal Crossing is my weakness. Yeah, Dakeru is an extreme Tsun for sure. He's just like, he's really mean. Otome games are already expensive and niche to begin with. It doesn't make sense to do so. That's what I think as well. They are expensive and they are niche. Why do I like this hobby? I could have liked just books. In the UK, you can go to the Works and buy 3 books for £6. And if you want to be even more cheap, you could go to the local charity shop, pick a book up. It's probably 50p. So much cheaper. I'm hoping that isn't the case. I mean, unless the economy gets better, there is no way people are going to be able to make the switch to Switch 2, so them stopping the Switch 1 isn't fair. 100%. I agree. The economy, I can't. I don't even. What is going on? The news is depressing to watch. Okay. If you can't get behind Tun, is there likely a character in Battlefield Waltz for me? I feel like, do you like player characters? So I feel like there's a darkness in Tiferet, which is like the really beautiful pretty boy character. I am really cute. He is like up here in my interest list. So Liz, I think he would be your type as well. He doesn't like give off any... I just feel like he's gonna be an interesting... It's just a feeling. All I can tell from just the comment route is that he's pretty. A lot of girls keep on going for him. And he's like, no, I'm gonna stay single. I'm not interested. But I'm like, why? I feel like... I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's gonna be an interesting character. I could be wrong. But maybe it's wishful thinking, but that's so true though. As a uni student, I can't afford a Switch 2. I had to wait 2 years after release just to get the Switch. Like, the Switch is expensive. Even the Switch is expensive. I remember buying it when, I think I bought it several years after it was released as well, because it wasn't possible to buy it on the spot. Have anyone seen this streamer? I think she used to play Zelda and Hello Kitty, but then she vanished. I think her name was Peach Olivia. I'm sorry. I will return and stream more regularly. I'm hoping in like June. Maybe May. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. You are lucky, books are so cheap where you are. I know. I've seen the prices in America. I don't know what it's like in Australia, but Jesus, when I saw that, I was like... I'm so lucky I don't really play games, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on the Switch too. Yeah, but books don't have 2D ikemen with pretty voices. I mean, you're not wrong, Lizard. Recently, I've been on Book Talk, and I've been like... reviewing books and exploring the Book Talk community and things. And I can't help but think literally all of these people would be into otome games because they're talking about like romantasy books, romance books, dark romance, talking about literally things that we talk about in otome games, but like in books. I'm sitting there going, if all of these people just were interested... And with how long it took for the otome to go from V to Switch, I think it would take them that long to go. Yeah, it's possible. Which otome game has your favorite art? Probably, I think Usuba Kagero, so things like Radiant Tail, Variable Barricade, Rain de Fleur. Yeah, I think those three are my... So their art is probably my favorite. It's very sparkly and it's a tie between them and Yomi. Is it Yomi, the one that does Verge Evermore? They're really pretty as well. Yeah, I bought Switch when it was already OLED or something. Alright, so quite a few years down the line. I mean, the good thing is that even with the Switch one, you can still lend games, so yeah. It was still expensive, of course, but Switch 2 is not 2 times more expensive. I can finally share my games with you, Peachy. That's true. How does that actually work? Okay, you're gonna be like, what the hell? But I haven't actually watched the Nintendo Direct yet. Literally all of my information is based off of the hype I saw on my server. That's like a month of salary. Yeah, I mean... I don't have a salary, so for me it's like, you know what I mean? I have the Switch Lite and it was a leftover gift from my sister when she got an older Switch, I think. Oh, OLED. Okay. And the Switch Lite is perfectly fine for otome games, so I feel that too with Book Talk. Oh, are you part of it as well? Bring the Book Talk people over here. That's why. Bring all the money. It's your mission, Lily Grow Book community, to convert them to our cult. I'd be lying if there wasn't a small voice in my head that's like, okay, once you've grown enough numbers on Book Talk, that's when you introduce otome games. I have recently been like inserting snippets of visual, I call them visual novels because otome games sounds a bit too far, so I call them visual novels to like try and, yeah, it's reading. It's reading. It's pretty men. Oh my god, if only I could count my otome games and my Goodreads reading challenges, because that is definitely reading. It is! The number of words is insane. How did you not, Peachy? Watch session now. I should watch the Nintendo Direct sometime. I watched Nintendo Direct live and relaxed that my wallet is safe. Oh, that's good. Thank you for the reviews. I always follow your suggested route order. Oh, that's really sweet that you actually like... Because, you know, I mean, most of the time, the route order is that, like, you know, the developer said it or something. But there are times when, like, for example, Sympathy Kiss and stuff, where I actually do kind of think, okay, if I were playing this game for the first time, which way would I want to play it? And I do think that some games need a warning or something, because I remember playing Sudan Digit, and I played the recommended order, so I was fine. But had I not followed it, there was one route that literally just, it was the truth route, but you could play it at the beginning. And I was like, what is this? This is how missionaries started. I will happily pass on Switch again. Also, it's gauge priced in Scandinavia, so also a reason. I heard about the prices in Norway. I was like, what is that? I know it's a bit different. You can't like just directly compare and things like that, but they all want dark and tall men. They're in our games. Come here, come here. It's literally that though. Like there's so many book talk videos where they're like, oh my god, I love this guy. He's my book talk boyfriend. I mean book boyfriend because of XYZ. And I'm like, there are loads of those. Hi Vince, welcome. I just got out of class, 450. I'm just getting a Steam Deck. Honestly, Vince, like that's where my brain went. I was like, if I'm spending that money on a Switch, I could buy a Steam Deck, which is kind of what I've always wanted. I just haven't, like, I can't afford that insane price. So that is where my brain went as well. And now I'm like looking at Steam Deck, and then they're saying that a new Steam Deck is coming out in however many months or something. Apparently Nintendo is freaking out with the backlash they're getting regarding the price. I mean, I'm not surprised. What did they think? They had way too much confidence. I don't think I mean, it's also bad timing, isn't it? Of any timing, now is probably the worst time to release an extremely expensive console. Nintendo, give us your mortgage payments. Oh my god. If you're even lucky to have a mortgage, right? Rent money. Oh my god. Yeah, their salaries must be nice if they are that delusional. I don't think it helps, right? I know that the details are there and it's a massive upgrade and all of this, but in terms of shape, it doesn't really look that different from the Switch, so it almost feels like you're buying the same console. I know you're not. I know you're not, right? But it does look that way, so it's not as exciting. Swedish company has led exclusive rights on import Nintendos, so not sure if they are the one profiting or if it's the shops that's selling them, but 200 more than... Wait, it's not because of the currency conversion, it's because of literally a whole extra thing going on? Not now, Nintendo, the economy is crashing. Literally. I'm laughing. I don't find it funny. This is like sad laughter, if you know what I mean. Type of thing. Like, I still can't get over the fact that their manual for the Switch 2 is paid. Yeah. I think that's what gets to me. It's not so much the console itself, it's the price of the games as well. And the fact they have to pay extra for the physical. It's crazy. The fact it's 470 euros in France when dollar is 450 and the conversion rates make that then €1 is actually more than $1. Like, are they kidding us? Yeah. My Switch is a visual novel machine. The Switch 2 is just not worth it, but the shops claim it's the value price, but that makes no sense. Ah, I see. I have a PlayStation 5 already for all the games that need visuals. And I learned of the PlayStation Portal that I didn't know the existence of until a mutual of mine told me about it. And it's literally like this device that allows you to play PlayStation games, but in handheld mode via Wi-Fi. And I was like, it just looks like so much fun. The problem is physical games are not all actually physical games. Some are required to be downloaded from the internet, which doesn't make sense. I know, it really, I'm not gonna lie, that low-key bothers me because I'm like, I don't know if I'm just really old or something, but I just miss the fact that it was all just in, you know, the little rectangles. I swear Nintendo owes the Yakuza money. It wouldn't surprise me if the Yakuza played a part in at some point in like part of the development in some way or another. They're in there always, everywhere. Nintendo has this type of belief that they shouldn't let anything they made be for free. They think their work should be paid even if it's something as dumb as a manual. The good old days. I also think Japan is so like... the whole country is very much like, no, you foreigners stay over there. This is our area and our things, and you it's like the what was it? You can't use an English PayPal on Japanese eShop anymore or something like that. I remember that causing some chaos. I mean, they wanted to make Wii Sports pay too, but then Reggie advocated for Nintendo to sell it for free with the console. Oh, I didn't know that. What are they going to do if there's an apocalypse? Physicals are king. You're so right, we won't be able to play any of our games. I love it how that's what we're thinking about. Like in conversion rate, it should be 411 euros, like 60 euros more than the US for what? Yeah. Yeah. And in Japan, it's a lot cheaper, especially if it's a Japanese only console. That Mario Kart world looks good though. I haven't actually, this is the thing, I haven't even checked out the Switch 2 games because I'm like, oh, if I want them, that would suck. Why bother make the card? This is just a code on it. Yeah. You foreigners pay more. It's literally that. Oh my god, I had a whole rant about this whole physical and digital debate people are having. Oh, Keiki, I know that you're particularly passionate about this, to be honest. I don't blame you. I don't even know, like, are otome games on the actual physical cartridge or are they, like, floating around us? I always joke. I'm like, they're floating around us. I know that's not how it works. But it feels like that. Like, people nowadays have no idea what digital games are. Like, you don't own the game if it's digital. Cake digital, they can swipe away anytime they want. Physical, you can at least play. Yeah, that's true. Color Malice 2, Nintendo 2 exclusive only, 120 euros. I would cry. I'd be like buying the games without the actual console so that when I buy the console I can play them. I'm not even sure how much the Switch would be here as we don't even have a Nintendo store. Where are you from if you don't mind me asking? Or where are you living in? Will otome games get taxed in the US with 25%? Oh my god, don't. That's so much extra as well because they're already quite expensive. I will wait for a new Fire Emblem. Yeah. If Nintendo decides to shut down the game or its services on the game, it's forever gone. With physical, you can play whenever, even if they remove the game. Yeah, if I buy a cartridge. You know what makes me laugh? It's when you can buy the box with a code inside. It's like, Okay, so a box, you know? I hate that. I once accidentally bought a Poirot game and didn't realize it was code only. I took it back home and was like, wait, this is code only. So I went back home. I went back to the game shop with it sealed closed, you know, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah. And they gave my money back. But sometimes you don't notice until you brought it back home, you know? Like, you're at the hands of Nintendo's mercy if you buy the digital copies. It does seem unfair. Technically, I don't care of having a physical as much, but those downloads physicals will just be eating away at the shiny new storage space like they are playing us. I agree, and then you just have to archive, which is not fun. Amnesia Remake, $150, please, no! This shouldn't be the direct gaming should go. Keep the physical games intact, please. I do like the Game Boy Advance cartridges. I think they're so cute. And I do have the Game Boy Color, the Hamtaro game. That one's I think the second one? Yeah, I've got the second Hamtaro game up there in this little box. Oh, dear me. Yeah, in Canada, Switch otome games are $55.70 before tax, which is why I'm playing more on PC because it's so much cheaper. Yeah, it's so expensive. I pulled the trigger and bought Dead or Alive Dating Sim, but I have to remember my Asian account to get the DLC outfit and free PS5 upgrade. I'm so curious about the Dead or Alive Dating Sim. The thing is, right? I do appreciate pretty girls on a screen. Like this, I always say, so I'm into men, but when you place a pretty girl and a pretty guy in front of me, my eyes will tend to go to the pretty girl more. I just think women have more of they're just more pleasant to the eye, is how I feel. I do think it's got something to do with the clothes. Like you can, women's clothes are more intricate, detailed, jewelry as well, hairstyle, whereas men, it's like quite, I don't know, it's not as exciting. So I think that's the reason why. So when they're like dating sims with pretty girls, I'm like, Saudi Arabia, we don't have a Nintendo Switch store, so I have to make my account using the US. Oh, right, yeah, that's very far from. I can see why they wouldn't have a Nintendo store. When is the stream of Dead or Alive, Raven? Hope Nintendo isn't watching that I'm giving ideas, low bad ideas. I'm scared to see how much it's going to cost us here with the Switch 2 games. Probably in a year, still struggling to finish Detroit Become Human. Oh, I really enjoyed Detroit. I'm surprised. Is it hard to get 100%? I thought because it's like a story-driven game, it would be quite easy. They also make pretty girls more flashy. That's true. More colors, more sparkles. We don't even have any otome games, so I mostly, otome game main characters are so pretty. Like, whenever there's a merch sale or otome game merch being sold, I actually like the main character more than the love interest. We don't even have any otome games, so I mostly buy my games digitally as physical games can get so expensive. I don't even want to know how much it must cost to, import from the US or something. That must be crazy. I miss having a physical game collection. It's so satisfying. Where I live, physical games are too expensive to me now. It sucks, right? It actually makes me realize how luxurious it is to actually have a physical collection when I hear it of you guys, living farther away and the prices are high. Because, don't get me wrong, I don't even want to know how much my Switch game collection amounts to, based on the fact that there are a lot of games from Japan that I have bought. But because I bought them from Japan, they're cheaper because of currency conversion. And so it's not as bad, if that makes sense. Get all trophy is not so bad, but with no dialogue, there's no dialogue skip. Oh my god, no. Nintendo, we will introduce the pretty tax, please. Speaking of merch, I wish I could find more art of otome characters. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Guess we're going back to old games. I can't believe they're over 100. I'm guessing you're talking Canadian dollars, right? 120 before tax. Are you serious? Physical copies look so pretty and it's collector items. You can legit sell them in the future for a big profit. Yeah. It's very true. I love it how this stream went from like talking excitedly about otome to feeling depressed about the fact that we can't afford physical games anymore. If you buy digital, try to buy discounted gift cards. Who knows if Bus Fellows 2 will eventually be $6 like the first one. It sucks being Canadian, yeah. I am genuinely concerned how things are gonna affect the world. I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching the news and yeah, it's depressing, isn't it? I live close to Vancouver, so everything is more expensive. Nintendo, wait, you don't have 90k euro yearly income? But what, 9? Oh my god, yeah, I heard it's way more pricey there. I didn't realize. I thought it would be like the same throughout. I can't believe that. That's crazy. I thought price variations for things like rent and bills maybe, but not. Yikes. It's depression because of a certain someone. Yeah, Mr. Cheeto. I have so much otome games in my backlog, even ones I bought already, but yesterday I was scrolling local online store thinking to buy some cartridges now in case they won't be available anymore. Yeah. We aren't gonna point fingers, but we all know. I love it how it's like, Cheeto. But I didn't say a name. And yeah, this weekend I visited my bestie. We had fun, ate pizza, but also talked about money, price of Switch, and food, except I feel like price of Switch is the convo right now. The news makes me so paranoid, like a little positivity would be great. I know, and the news is never positive. It's always negative stuff, no matter what or when. I think the last time I saw something positive on the news was during COVID, ironically. And there was like a whole line of people in England because they were all helping some ill people or something like that. I don't know. It was really wholesome. But that's the only positive thing. But anyway, I think that's that. Oh, I need to do the giveaway. What am I doing? I love it how this is a whole wait. Where did I put it? Okay, so I have got the little very old school roulette. We shall find out who wins the EU copy of Battlefield Waltz. Who's it gonna be? So it is Part-Time UFO. Congratulations! I shall message them. I don't know if they're here, whether they're lurking, but I will message them on their comment, and if they can send me an email, I can send them the copy. So you're gonna get switched to. I think I'm leaning towards Steam Deck, Vince. I really am, but probably so. That means I won't be getting anything. But anyway, congrats to UFO, and yeah, I think that's it. I will be working on my Battlefield Waltz first impressions. It'll probably be quite a short video, to be honest, because it's just first impressions. But that's the future. I've got several book reviews as well. And yeah. I was not lucky this time again, but congrats to them. I know, it's whenever you see a giveaway, it's always like, oh, I might win, but in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but you've never won before. So I understand that feeling. But yeah, this was really fun. I always think I should do it more often, but then I think it's hard to do them without any like questions and stuff because there's only so much I can talk about. But yeah, again, thank you guys for coming along. It was lots of fun and hopefully I will see you all again. Bye. Oh shoot, no, oops, sorry. The thing is with YouTube is for some reason, I don't know why, but there's always like a delay of, I don't know how to put it, but there's always a delay of when I say goodbye and then turn it off. So I always have to go through the studio. I completely forgot. Okay, let's go to the live. Oh my god. I don't know why it does that. If I switch it off through here, it cuts it off quickly. So I have to like go through here. But yeah, again, thank you guys for coming along. It was lots of fun and hopefully I will see you all again at some point. Bye.